all to play for, Greg. I am very excited.
Oh, I am too. And one of the things you noted was there, without the long straights here, you're constantly transitioning, changing direction, which, as you've talked about, that affects the stability when you're moving from one foil to the other one. That's what's made this so fascinating, along with the little whirlpools and eddies of this lake. And there's the Ocean Club. Everybody getting ready to watch with Will Smith right there in the center. Here we go, heading toward the start, and when they get there, the timing, we're bows out. We are racing final number 1 here on the amazing Lake Como, and it is Westbrook getting a nose ahead. Aoki Racing, for a minute there, looked like they were going to be okay in that inside lane, but Saud, that boat getting a little unsettled here. Great start by Timmy Hansen for Team Brazil, and here comes Chris Ladaraga trying that outside move again.
Team Brady trying to go for the very wide outside in the least advantageous lane position, and it hasn't worked out as to speak. They're right at the back of the pack. They're going to have 4 boats worth of wake to deal with, but maybe, I'm just thinking ahead of the game here, Greg, maybe this is part of the strategy, because all they need to do to secure a championship win is finish in the top 3.
So neither of their pilots are going to risk that race bird, right? And they're going to be very mindful of where they have to run. Probably won't want to be racing this close. How close is this, folks? Absolutely stunning. On board Aoki Racing and Team Brazil, the great camera shots that we are getting offered us here is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, whilst Lucas Ordonez has a roughly almost 4.5 second lead, now just gone up to a 5.5 second lead. The other 3 behind will have firm eyes on their rear view mirrors or rear view cameras as Team Rafa and Team Brady try and close the gap as the 2 quickest race birds so far this weekend, and by a long way.
Absolutely, and it's just interesting to see both of them at the back, as you said. Ordonez doing a brilliant job up front for Westbrook in that red racebird, and Timmy Hansen sitting in that second spot. Oh, big rough ride there for Chris Ladaraga for Team Rafa, but she was on the boot. She was not willing to let it go. She's got position on the inside. Is she going to be able to make this hold? It's so close. Inside Saud Ahmed. Oh, she's in a wash of spray. She's still trying for it. And Saud's going to close the door again. Gives her just enough room. This is some of the closest racing we have seen. And Chris Ladaraga, look at Rafael Nadal, absolutely agape at this stage at how close this is.
Oh, it's so close, but then Chris Ladaraga just fell back behind Saud Ahmed, now got all that weight to deal with. It's going to completely throw the racebird off balance, and already you can see the gap that's been made just by that one corner.
Yep. Ooh, and Saud right there caught a little bit of a wake the wrong way, a wave, and it unsettled him just a bit. Maybe Chris will have an opportunity here. Meanwhile, up front, Lucas Ordonez has opened up about an 8-second lead. And what do you think is comfortable looking at these conditions now as we see Aoki going for their long left? What do you think is comfortable?
Team Aoki and Brady, both of them. This could be a crucial part of the strategy. Have Brady thought about getting it done earlier and then maybe having a bit more, cleaner water in front of them to utilize, maybe utilize again that pace that they have shown so far this weekend. Maybe that could be the best strategy we've seen. It could be risky, but risk, reward is always a balance.
Right, and again, obviously Sam is not going to push overly hard here with any damage, but he's going to come out. He's still right behind Aoki Racing, and Saud Ahmed is obviously throwing up some wake as well. So interesting to see how that plays out. Up front, Lucas Ordonez has gone to 9 seconds. So now that we've had a couple of those long laps, what's the timing look like? This is rougher water.
Well, the timing at the moment is well, we've seen 2 so far, and there's more to contend with. There's much more boats in the water, so I think it's going to be slower overall. Maybe the kind of the pushing to 9 to 11 rather than the 6 to 9 seconds that we saw in the semi-finals. But that all can change if you have the chance to pick up some rhythm, because what we haven't seen so far is anyone outside of Team Westbrook having clean water to run it.
Exactly. That's a key point.
That's where all the difference is going to be made. But one thing we do have to talk about is Sam Coleman, Team Brady. They are racing to maintain the lead of the championship. You've got Team Rafa now going into the long lap, but when it comes to Rafa, when it comes to Westbrook, they are racing for potentially second and third position. When you think about the points that are still up for grabs.
Yeah, and so they're going to give it as much welly as they possibly can here and make it happen. It's going to be interesting because Rafa, as she is coming around now, Saud Ahmed, they're going to meet at the merge. This is going to be really, really close. There is Chris off to the left, and you can see not quite enough, and tucks right back in behind Saud. And Saud had completed their long lap already, so those are our absolute positions here. Sam Coleman just lagging back there in the 5th spot, while Ordonez and Hansen are setting sail, but they are going to have to do their long lap this time.
Yeah, both of them still yet to do the long lap. Essentially, what we've just learned about the use of the long lap so far from those that have done it is it's a net gain. A net gain, net loss, because we've come back out in exactly the same spot as we went in just over the course of a few laps.
Yeah, that's how it's playing out here, and I'm watching to see, is Ordonez going to do that long lap, because he can, I think, do it, but it still maybe, no, he opts not to go on this one. Let's see, neither does Timmy Hansen for Team Brazil, so they're going to wait to that final lap, but Lizarraga's closing in.
And as we draw our eyes now to these three battling together, who have all done the long laps, and now this is just flat out racing to the end of this session. And maybe if I'm Team Brady, I'm thinking about letting them battle ahead, finding the clean water on the outside, and going for a similar move like we've seen at the start of each race, and trying to make it happen that way.
All right, look at this. Here comes Timmy Hansen for Brazil, completing his long lap. And look at the merge. He had some distance here. Ooh, this could be really close, but he just straight lines out. That was really wise. He set that merge exit up so he could just go straight to the smart mark.
And meanwhile, while all that was going on, Brady went for a move around the outside, didn't quite pay off, and they've lost a bit of time and fallen back to the back of the order again. Still, chance to close the gap, but it's definitely looking tighter.
Well, you know, Sam, I know he's protecting, but boy, he'd like to be better than 5th. You know, that's putting this a little bit sketchy here. Meanwhile, here, you look in the background, you can see Lucas Ordonez there for Westbrook, that red dot. He has got to do his long lap now. He's in turn number, there he goes. Gets through that final smart mark and now cuts into the long lap. So it is his turn to go here. He's got plenty of time to deal with here.
Plenty of time, but if for whatever reason he causes himself a bit of a delay coming out that long lap, the merge could be unbelievable. It might be all 5 meeting each other again into the hardest turn, a 90-degree turn of turn 7, where all of the action, all of the drama is, as everybody watches on from the Ocean Club.
Well, look at this, and you know who's going to be cheering this on. Will Smith's going to be loving this moment here. But Saud Ahmed has closed it up on Hansen, and Lizarraga has closed it up as well. Here we go, completing the merge. Ordonez does it with aplomb and gets the win in final number 1. There you see it. A huge round of applause from Will Smith. And Timmy Hansen is not done yet, coming through, picking the position up. Saud dropped off in the latter part of that last bit. They were really close. He'll still get 3rd.
As we mentioned before, Team Brady need to finish this weekend 4th or above to secure the championship. So if you're Team Miami, you're looking at the result of this and you're rubbing your hands.
Yes, you are, somewhat gleefully. And the big surprise is the 2 absolutely dominant teams in semifinals and qualifying 4th and 5th.
Yeah, shocking, shocking. But still another final with the other driver, the other pilot, to get involved and see what they can do.
And what I find fascinating here, as does everybody there in the Ocean Club, with Rafa and Brady in the outside 2 lanes for that first start, we talked about that. You know, that is not any advantage. They occupy the inside 2 lanes. Yeah. You've got Emma Kimmelainen and Tom Schaap could be going foil to foil into that first turn. They are both hard racers. Yeah,
5 seconds to go. It's going to be huge how this starts. Greg, take it away. What can we watch?
Oh, we are bows out and close to that inside already. And you can see Tom Schaap, he got going, but then it was a great launch by Emma. She just waited, hit the boost right as Schaap was coming off the boost, launches into the lead. But look at Sarah Price, that outside line. She can pull this off.
It was a great start from Brady and Kimmelainen, but it's Westbrook that seems to be doing well. No, they've gone too wide. They've gone for the speed and the distance argument we've been talking about, and it's come badly off. Team Brady in the lead, following by Team Rafa behind.
Yeah, Marcelo Lobadan Freoki going way out there. And with that long run, it looks like Sarah might be able to hang on to third. I thought for a moment we might have the Team Brazil entry coming up and challenging by Katie Munnings. This is a pretty close grouping here. A lot of the starts we've seen big gaps form much sooner than this, and these top four are staying in relatively close concert here. And Emma Kymäläinen, I'll tell you, I think she's the revelation of this series this year. She is just, she had no boating background, but she has the gift. You can see there, you see Chris Ladaraga shaking her head, going, well, we didn't get the better part of that one.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the kind of the race now we've been waiting to see all weekend. Did Brady v Rafa? There'd be the big upset there for Kymäläinen. Brady took everything going into that corner.
And that, if it's judged to be egregious enough, that's a potential penalty. So we'll keep an eye out for it. If you clip it, they've been letting it go. That was an absolute, you just clouded it. And it cost her some momentum and speed. And here comes Shap, looking to the inside, battle for the lead. Championship implications.
Oh!
Shap along the inside, he's through. Oh, that could have been almost another touch.
Huge move, absolutely huge move. And now that long lap strategy even more crucial. But the quickest man, the quickest pilot all weekend has been this person, Tom Chap for Team Rafa.
Yeah, absolutely. He had the fastest individual lap in qualifying. He was wickedly quick. I think that there may be some damage possibly to that Brady boat because now you see Sarah Price is just, oh! And then Sarah catches a little wave. And those, I tell you, that's the interesting thing about these foils is when one hits it catches something before the other does, it gets that huge yaw moment. Look at this. She is potentially through there, still side by side. Sarah Price, the nose ahead now of Emma Kymäläinen, and Emma just slotting into that third spot. Wow, I'll tell you, it looked like she was back on race form here, but you have to wonder that she really hit that smart mark.
I think you made a good call with Team Brady because we have to see this again, this replay. There's definitely some damage and it's costing them time. They're losing it by the minute. Let's have another look at what happened.
Watch it right here. Turns in, it buries it,
Bang!
and wham! Oh yeah, it cracked that. And now she, because of that, as we said, it was such a hard hit. That's going to be, it has just been assessed a long lap penalty. A chance to clinch here, and it's going wrong. Oh boy, this is unbelievable here. Meanwhile, Tom Shap up to a 6.2 second lead. Sarah Price sits second and Emma is third, but with 2 long laps, this championship suddenly is blown wide open.
You've got to ask the question, was the risk worth it?
Yeah.
All you needed to do was finish in the position you currently were and not lose it. Did you need to take that much risk?
Yeah, I wonder, did she hit one of those little whirlpools right as she turned? I mean, I'm just speculating, but it just suddenly pivoted on her. Who knows? We'll hopefully find out later, but boy, that is absolutely incredible. And let's see when she might do, now having to do 2 of those long laps. And Emma has, let's see if she takes care of that here. Looks like she has not yet. And did she make the move? No. But behind her, Marcelo Lobadan goes for the long lap.
And let's remind ourselves about how it works with the combined finishes of these 2 finals. Team Brady took 3 from final 1. Currently they'll be taking 5, so that would give them 8 in total. Sorry, that would give them 8 to then potentially see where that puts them in the end with the maximum points available. Would be looking at 8 points.
Yep.
So that makes it, like you said, completely wide open. It's not over for Miami yet. And talking behind that, there's still plenty to play for.
Well, absolutely, and depending upon if that with that damage on that boat, the others could. We see Timmy now has moved around and taken up that spot. I mean, Katie Munnings, and she's done the long lap, and now she's going to drop back a little bit. So it's going to be fascinating to see. But it certainly looks like right now this championship, which could have potentially been clinched here by Team Brady, looks like it will be going to the final round. And right now, Tom Shap, the margin 10.5 seconds, make it 11.5 up front as he goes through another sector. And he just set a superbly quick second sector at 25.7. So absolutely flying. Westbrook and Sarah Price going for their long lap. And it's going to be close here, but I think she will be okay. As she comes through, has to go around that next cone there, and then she can start into the merge here, and it's all going to come down to, at that point, where Emma is at that point. And remember, we've seen Emma Kymäläinen has now done one of the 2 long laps, and that drops her into 4th. There comes Sarah.
You've got to ask yourself the question as well. If you're Tom Chapp now, you've got a 23-second advantage. What could have been for Emma Kymäläinen and Tom Brady?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, they were out front. She had that one. And just maybe that margin just cut it too close here. And you can see Michelle Lobadan is starting to close up. And again, Emma's got damage on that left foil. And the only person who hasn't done the long lap right now is Chapp. He just turned a 21-2. That's extraordinary. And you can see right now Brady boosting, Kemma doing everything she can right now. But the interesting thing to me is with that damage, if Michelle Lobadan comes up and takes that 4th spot, that's going to compress this championship even more. Right now, you know, Team Miami, they don't want to win it, you know, with a problem like that. As finally Tom Chapp goes for the long lap, but you know, underneath they might be going, come on, Michelle. That's going to make it closer. We get to go to the final.
Yeah,
but Tom Chapp, exactly. But Tom Chapp is just, as he has been every time he has been on the water here, has just an absolutely superb run. We're on the last lap. Here he comes to the line, and Rafa and Tom Chapp come through as they start this lap. This is going to be amazing. And look at that. Look at that story here. Westbrook coming through into the 2nd spot.
But look at the end of the long lap. It's Team Aoki. They're coming through. It's yeah.
They're going to do it.
They've done it.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be amazing. Michelle Lobadan has gone through on Team Brady, will take 4th. So Rafa wins this one. Sarah Price 2nd, Katie Munnings 3rd, Michelle Lobadan in that 4th spot, and in 5th, a wounded Emma Kymäläinen. But those combined standings, Westbrook Racing, they weren't even in existence after the 1st round. They win a final round, a combined final. Rafa fighting back from that 4th place finish to finish 2nd in the combined. Brazil, a really impressive run into 3rd. And Aoki in their 1st final doing a nice job too. And Brady, boy, talk about a coulda, woulda.
What a turn of fate. You know, it looked like they couldn't lose earlier in the day, and then everything that could have gone wrong in that race for them did happen. And again, we said at the end of the 1st final, if Miami were rubbing their hands then, they're positively blistered all over right now.